Here we go again. This is my third video since my comeback to YouTube, and yet another topic I did not see myself talking about when I was creating this channel, but yet here we are. I felt like I should react a little bit more on the video I posted last week. Just raise awareness even further about what we can do, how can we shift the tides, change what's happening, what is in our capability as humans, as these individual creatures out here. Because I believe there is a lot we can do. And this is not a new information, but I believe that sometimes we need to hear something multiple times before we take it on board, before it actually sinks into our brain and we make that conscious decision to do something different. Because people feel hopeless, and we really are not. We are so powerful. One of our biggest powers in this physical realm is the way how we use our money, is our consumer decision. If you watched the video about myself that I posted a few months back, you may remember that I have a degree in economy. So this topic is not so far from me. I made a conscious decision to never work in that sphere, but I know one thing, and that is that we as customers, as consumers, are the ones who are making the decisions which companies will survive the market. I'm talking about this because I recently had a big shift in how I'm spending my money. Of course, we know the local is always better. Small companies, quality ingredients are always better. But the truth is, it's also much more expensive. And in today's world, where when everything is rising, it sounds insane. Spend your money by buying something more expensive than you can get somewhere else. But is it? And you do not need any degree in economy to understand that when you are buying your products from a local business, the business will survive. And if you stop buying products from them, they will vanish. But stop there for a moment and really think about it. You as a human, you as this individual, as a person with money on your account, you have one of the strongest power in deciding what sort of companies will be present in today's world. Do you realize the value of this? Do you realize how big this is? And you might say that me, myself, one person will not change it. That you are just a drop in the ocean. And how they say in one beautiful movie, but isn't the ocean made out of millions of drops? You changing your decision can influence others to change their decision too. As I was reflecting in the last video I posted, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It was very different to my usual subject of inspiration. The public is now well informed about quite a lot of stuff that are happening behind the scenes, and about how people in power are actually using their powers. You may not know yet the full intention behind it, but I feel like you would have to live under the rock to not be aware of the fact that what you put in your mouth will influence your health. And there is a lot of information how bad the processed food actually is for you, and even what horrific things they put into it, and how badly it influences you and your family, and the environment, the earth, the planet, the society. Because by supporting these big corporations, you are agreeing to what they are doing, to their values, if there are any. To be a little poetic, imagine that your bank card, or your money, it's one of the biggest swords you have available to you right now. And a beautiful side effect of buying your stuff local is not just that you will support the business of your neighbor with better and more local produce, but also that you will get to know your community a little better. Because when shit hits the fan, I'm pretty certain that these big corporations are not gonna help you. But do you know who may help you? The local shop owner, who you have been supporting for years. I love hearing from my landlord. She's been in the town for a really long time, and she goes to local shops. I'm not saying she always buys her groceries in there, but she goes there and every now and then supports them in by some way. And she mentioned to me a couple of times already that on different occasions over a long time, it's not something she does, that she forgot her card or something, because she just changed the wallet and she left the card in the other wallet, and she didn't have any cash on her, and she was out with her grandkids and wanted to get them an ice cream or something, and the shop owners just gave it to her because they know her. They know her. They know that she supports the business. They know she's local. They know they have a relationship with her. And that's something what you do not get with big corporations. So by giving your money to a good cause, to quality produce, to small local businesses, you are actually voting for what you want to see more of. Okay, now I get that these big corporations have low prices, and I understand it's really expensive because these little businesses, they cannot compete with the prices the big corporation can offer. They can't, even if they really want it, but they won't survive. In today's market, they can't. They have to keep their prices high. You're very well aware that the price of the housing is increasing in recent years. Well, it's also business rental. The price of renting a business right now is insane. And I'm also pretty aware of it because I do work in one local business. If you want to survive, you have to keep putting your prices up. But you will still get the connection. I work in a crystal shop, right? My boss told me, and it's so cute, that when children come and they are using their pocket money to buy something, to buy a crystal, to buy a nice shiny rock, she told me to give them half price or like really ridiculous price, because it's so cute that they are actually saving up to spend money in our shop. So she rewards them in a way. And it's not just with children. When you create a connection with a shop owner or with a person working in a shop, they will help you out as much as they can. It's still a business, so they can't give you things for free all the time, but they will help you out. They will reward you for coming back there. And creating these connections is what we really need in our community, in our world today, because we are so separated. Okay, so now let's talk some math. So as I mentioned, I know, I get it. Buying local, buying high quality stuff, it's expensive. And if you're not a rich person, you really need to think twice. And so I'm not saying or even recommending that from one day to another you should just completely stop buying everything in big corporations and switch to small local businesses. You don't even know these local businesses if you have been using them. You don't even know where they are. You don't even know what they have on offer. I have no idea even where to start. It's a big thing. If you were always used to go to this one big building and buy everything you need over there, not think twice, you don't really know what's around you. It's a process. And also it's very costly to just switch overnight. So you would do it once or twice and then you would just go back into the traditional way of living, because it's just too much for one person to do it all in one go. But you can start researching. You can look around. You can figure which items, for example, would be the easiest to switch to something more local. I think the easiest option for you right now would be your fruit and veg and your meat. There are so many little fruit shops, a market, all sorts of delivery systems. There's plenty to choose from. Do your research. I work weekends. I can't get to markets, even if I really would like to, because that's the best. It's not that expensive. Choosing beautiful veggies from people who grew them, they have the connection to them. What can be better? But as I said, I work weekends. I can't go to markets. I'm at work when markets are on. And so I did a little research, and I chose one of the delivery systems where they will deliver to you a box of fruit and veg for discounted price every week. Whatever is in season, whatever is available. If you're not too picky, it's a great option. Meat, This particular food service I chose to try for now also offers meat, and so I'm trying it. If I won't like it, I'm gonna go to butchers. I had this big switch in my brain saying, was enough, it's enough. I'm done with it. I'm switching everything. Because I'm like that, go hard or go home. Oh my god, by the way, I forgot to introduce myself. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Vicky Langel and I'm here to help you release your trauma, elevate your life and expand your consciousness. And in today's topic we're talking about one of your biggest powers in this world. And that's yours, how and where you spend your money. Alright, so where was I? Yeah, so I had this big shift, really big shift, like enough is enough. I'm done. I'm not supporting this anymore. I want to be true to my word. I want to support businesses that really matter in this world. Businesses that help the planet, that help the people. Not the big corporations which do not care, not even about their employees. If you work in one of these big corporations, you know you're just a number and you can be replaced anytime, and it's really sad, but it's true. Long story short, I did my research. I really spent some good time thinking and researching all the items that I need, that I buy. Where else can I get these in a way that also it's not gonna cost me an arm? Because at this current moment I also have to think twice about where I'm spending my money and how much will I have left. And I started switching. I made the choice: no more fruit and veg from corporations, no more meat from corporations, no more pet food from corporations. And that's a biggie, because pet food is not cheap. I looked around the local shops, which ones I like, what are the prices, so I'm prepared for what I need to spend. And I also want to make clear that I'm not saying that I will never ever buy anything from a big corporation anymore. As I said, you cannot change everything overnight. It's a process. Once I adjust to a certain rhythm, which I'm creating right now, then I can tweak it again a little later. I can find better product. I can also find new produce with which I can replace something I'm using. You know, it's a process. It's a process. If you can just switch one product, as I said, fruit and veggie, just buy it from a market or buy it from a local fruit shop. Support these local businesses because it will pay back. I'm certain of it. I had this really nice, short and sweet interaction today in a pet shop I went to. As you know, I recently moved, and in my old place I found a little pet shop I used to go to buy biscuits for my cat. I don't feed my cat biscuits. It's just a treat. Just a side note. I don't believe cats should eat biscuits, but that's another topic. But since I moved, I did not know a local shop around me, and so I just kept doing what I was doing before, started going and buying them from a big corporation, until I had the switch. And I found it, and today is the first time I went there because I'm slowly running out of my cat food. Of course I was expecting higher prices, but what I was not expecting is much better product. I found this amazing, wholesome cat food that is more expensive than the regular wet cat food, but the quality is incomparable. But as I was paying, the shop owner asked me if I'm local, which was quite cute because I have a strong accent. So I said, yeah, I live here. And he asked if this was my first time in the shop, and I said, yeah. And I said, I'm done with big corporations, so thank you for being here. He got this little smile on his face. And what I really felt in that moment, I understood something. These small businesses have been fighting for survival for a really long time. And at this stage, as I said, their prices are high. They can't afford to lower their prices, otherwise they will not survive. But I really believe this time is ending. I really believe that if enough of us stop shopping the way we are used to and start supporting the small businesses, and as these big corporations don't get enough customers, they disappear. And I really feel this shift in the air. I don't know if you really get what I mean, but that little smile on that man's face really activated something in me. It almost felt like I got this little glimpse into the future, and I could see the trajectory of where this would go. when these businesses don't have to compete with the prices of the big corporations. And I'm not just talking about selling prices, I'm talking about the buying prices, about the cost of them stocking the certain items. Because that is the big thing that is affecting the selling price, and also the rental situation. The rents are really adding to the cost of produce. I can see these big corporations disappearing, small businesses flourishing, and the prices dropping to affordable level, so we can all afford good quality produce. So I spoke about the side effect of actually getting to know your community, supporting the local so the local can support you. Another great side effect is that you will have less waste, which is perfect for the planet, and also you will have less junk. How great is that? Your body will feel better, your family will feel better, the planet will feel better. And by buying less junk, you will actually spend maybe less money. Isn't it real? Okay, so really let's look at it with clear head. First, if I want to change something, I will need to take few steps. So first, I need to do my research. I need to see what is out there, what is the cost, what are the items I can switch right now, are gonna affect my wallet the least, but are gonna make the biggest difference. And then it's actually taking those steps. And it's trial and error. I just ordered oat milk that comes in powder. It's Australian made from high quality ingredients. I read a lot of reviews. It's 50-50. People either hate it or love it. It's really expensive, or when you compare it to the prices of oat milk in a supermarket. But I made the decision that I'm willing to pay that price if I don't have to rely on supermarket for my milk, if I'm not filling up my bin with Tetra Paks, which are unrecyclable. Another topic. I don't know yet if I will like that milk, if I will stay with brand, but I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to go to trial and errors. Same with the food box system. I don't know if I will like this particular food box, but for now I'm willing to try it. How amazing it is actually that a local business will deliver a food box to your door. They do the heavy lifting and I will just enjoy the produce. I like it. So as I said, we have to do the research. We have to take an action to actually do something, and that can be daunting. You may do your research, but you may just sit on it and be like, oh, but I'm used to do it the way I'm used to do it, and I know exactly how to do it. I have my rhythm, I have my routine, I go to shop on that day, I buy this and this, I spend that much, and you can just keep putting it aside. But I'm encouraging you to take that action, to order that first food box, to go to your first butcher, go to the pet shop, do something. And then it's the trial and error. Trying, seeing what do you like, what you don't like. Give it a minute. Testing something new, you may not like it on the beginning, but you may get used to it. You may actually love it after a while. And then I would say that there is a secret fourth step. Share it with people. Share your experience. Because the word of mouth is the biggest advertisement. So as I mentioned, I work full-time, I manage a crystal shop. I also have my own business. I'm a massage therapist and Reiki and breathwork, all different stuff. And also I do this channel. I'm a busy woman. When I started my business back in Western Australia, I ran it for like 3 years over there. I advertised myself maybe for first month, and that was it. Biggest advertisement for me were my clients. It was the word of mouth that filled up my diary. Your coworkers, that maybe it's time to switch to small businesses. Share things you learned, share companies you discovered. It's about shifting the general public opinion, and we can just all do it for each other. I want to mention it again and clearly. I'm not even saying that myself, I will never visit a big supermarket again. You can't shift everything overnight or even over a month. So give yourself also some grace. You don't have to change it all. Just take one small step at a time. Don't try to figure out the step number 10. Just figure out your first step. I also was just thinking that you may say that if all these corporations close down, like all these people will lose their jobs. What am I thinking? If big corporations close down, a lot of new local businesses will open. And a lot of new local businesses may need people. And maybe those people who are stuck in those supermarket jobs may actually find the courage to do something they really like. You're not heading to doomsdays. It may look like it for a minute. Things have to dissolve first so we can rebuild new. But the thing is, and I think a lot of people switched on that already, we are building new while the old is crumbling. Quietly, peacefully, just brick after brick, brick after brick. I just want you to walk out from here today with realization of that power you carry in your wallet and use it wisely. Thank you so much for spending the time with me today. I hope this video brought you some inspiration, empowerment, motivation, a new perspective. I'm really grateful for your likes and comments. I'm celebrating every new subscriber because you always have to start somewhere. If you're curious of what inspired me to speak about this topic, you can click on this video where I'm reflecting on the current state of the world, empowering you to get out of fear. And I'll be back next week with some new topic. Remember, your life is in your hands.